And as we jump in about halfway through, we can see, once again, the Ogre Magi. You and I have been talking about that hero for days on end now, and for damn good reason. He's very highly prioritized by pretty much every team. Doesn't matter if they're East or West, either very early picked or, in some cases, very early banned. He's paired up with another tanky hero, another great early to mid-game hero in the Brewmaster for CDEC. It's going to be IG going with the Pub Stomp combo, though, Faceless Void and Skywrath Mage.
Yep, pretty good. Give me a second too. I got to visualize this as I missed the lobby. But Skywrath Mage and Void pretty much tried and true there for IG. It sounds like, and then the Ogre Magi. I mean, we've seen this on both East and West teams. It's just been the standout hero as of late. You can't really go wrong with him. He can roam perfectly well, transitions well to the late game with an Ags. You can also have utility if you want Force Staff. The Bloodlust works on almost every hero in a fantastic way. So, yeah, just pretty standard stuff, I would say, so far.
Yeah, the ban phase continues, and in case you're curious why Trout has to visualize, had a very untimely crash for him. He crashed just as we were launching the lobby, and that means that he's unable to join this game right now, so he's having to go just by my voice, basically. However, we are going to have a quick remake following the completion of the draft. That way we can get him in. As, trust me, my solo commentary, it's not bad, but Trout's pretty damn good. So we definitely want him to have an eye on what's happening in the game to pass along those nuggets of knowledge he's so well known for.
Dem nuggets.
Razor, nuggets. The Razor pick up, third position for IG, so going more with, well, it's the TI4 meta, basically. Void, Skywrath, and Razor, and we'll wait to see what CDEC wants to pile on with it as well. Taking a look at what IG has banned, taking away heroes that do fight in the phase of the game that they want to fight in. The Slark and the Viper, most notably. Lycan, of course, can do a lot then. Morphling, kind of outside of that a little bit, but I feel like it's just going to be all about the mid-game for IG.
Yeah, Morphling is just a very favored hero in the Eastern scene, not a hero that's so popular in the West, and that's one of those things that I talked about as we get into the meat and potatoes of this tournament when we see, East and West back to back and the differences of draft. I would say the two biggest things are the supports that are picked up in the East. Namely, they really love their Ancient Apparition, Vengeful Spirit a little bit more, and their choice of carries like Morphling is I think prioritized a little bit more. So that's banned out as for good reason for the Eastern teams. They really love their Morphling.
Silencer, actually, the third pick for CDEC, so looks like they're going to be willing to take a fight, and this is already a team you can see that is going to have a lot of ways to get into a fight, and if they have the initiation advantage, they're going to be able to quiet any kind of a response from IG. And I really love a Silencer pick in particular against the combo of Faceless Void and Skywrath. Same thing goes if you want to throw a Witch Doctor into the mix. Basically, Chrono only lasts so long, and it depends on how you want to take it. If you get a chance to jump the Void, that's fine. You can pop the Global Silence, try to focus him down, then you don't have to worry about it. Or alternatively, if you get initiated on by the Chronosphere and there's going to be a big combination coming up, if you're quick enough with your fingers, you can just basically leave Void out left to dry with nothing but his right click. And while he can be substantial in that regard with things like a Mask of Madness and a Maelstrom or whatever other right click item he might want, it's certainly suboptimal, and it gives you a chance to turn the fight, especially when you already have a Brewmaster on your side.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because yes, it's a good combo breaker, so to speak, with the Silencer Global after Void ult, but I feel like one of the great things about Void is that he can kind of hold his own and doesn't really need anybody. That's why he got so popular, is people were like, oh, wow, this hero can solo pretty much anyone on the map with the Mask of Madness Mjolnir. Not even Mjolnir, just the Maelstrom. Can really solo literally any hero, unless it's someone that's ridiculously tanky, or if you have, a swap or a Shadow Demon like that. But if it's just straight up 1v1 and an equal farm, he can solo anyone. That's one of the beauties. So in that regard, Silencer's not exactly that great, but yeah, as a combo breaker, it's certainly fine. I'm interested to see if it's going to be a support or a core Silencer.
Invoker going to be the pickup for IG, so Ferrari going to get his hands on a hero he rather likes. And now I'm getting kind of interested in how they're going to lane this. One would imagine just by eyeballing it, it'll be an off-lane Faceless Void with an Invoker in mid and a Razor that's getting solo safe attention and farm. And I really dig that, if for no other reason than the presence of the Skywrath Mage. They're going to be able to put any number of supports with him, and they're going to be a huge threat as they begin to roam and especially pressure mid, whatever hero happens to be there. Right now, Brewmaster a good candidate, though mid Silencer, you can't completely rule it out. Batrider, though, I'm pretty sure we know where he's going to wind up out in that offlane.
And that's for CDEC?
Yep.
Okay, so they have Batrider, Ogre, Panda, and now the Silencer.
Correct.
That's a pretty nice team, just thinking about it mentally. Like,
Yeah.
it's really nice. You initiate with either Bat or Panda Silence, and there's absolutely nothing they can do unless they BKB to get rid of it. But that's a very awkward exchange, and it's not something you want to count on all the time if you're IG. Just counting on having a BKB ready right there. And usually you don't, like, the jump from a Bat is just way too quick to really react most of the time, unless you have a fast swap or something else like that. And I guess the IG does need one more support, correct?
Yes, IG most likely. One would imagine they've got an Invoker, Razor, and Faceless Void, so there's their 3 cores. So one would hope they're looking for another support.
Yeah, one would hope. Don't want to see like a PA or something.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go full pub, dude. Full pub. Meepo pick,
dude. Actually, Meepo support.
DK ran. Yeah, I was gonna say DK ran a very good Meepo support, but anyway.
I've seen No Tail run a pretty damn good Meepo support. Mm-hmm. In fact, when we think about good Meepo players, obviously a lot of people like to put No Tail up there, and I know I'm taking a tangent here, but actually his support Meepo was really, really good, just off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, I mean No Tail's kind of good at just about everything. Love Joanne. IG does round out their lineup, and lo and behold, it is a support. It's going to be a Treant Protector to round out their 5.
Oh, okay. So Treant Protector, interesting against an Ogre Ignite, just because it has damage over time. Same with the Bat, actually. So, and even
10 seconds.
Yeah,
remaining.
Interesting. Even the damage from the Silencer's Curse of the Silent is some damage over time. Interesting stuff. But guess it does beef up some other lanes. It'll help out the solos and their cores, like the Invoker. So,
and CDEC goes Naga Siren.
Whoa, okay. I mean, just thinking about it, I really like CDEC's lineup. Like, Silencer, we've seen in lane as a support. It completely demolishes and totally zones out any offlane hero. So, and even if it's a try-v-try situation, pretty good in try-v-try situations as well. So, like, mentally, I really like this CDEC lineup. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Can't wait to see it, but we got to get you into where you can see it. So, language barrier about to be a challenge. Get to try to explain that we have a rehost, and actually I just had a connection problem pop up for a second there. But anyway, we will be jumping in, and hopefully myself, with the help of a couple of admins, can put the idea across. So very sorry for the delay, guys, but trust me, you're going to enjoy Tralf talking about the game at length a lot more than you'll enjoy me doing it by myself. So here in a minute, we'll be coming right back. I'm just waiting on the load in, and there we go. And let me make sure. I'm actually getting horrible ping here anyway. Like, I'm watching a slideshow right now because of the Perfect World server. So,
that will
tell you
happen.
what, guys, we're going to resolve all of this, and we will be right back here in just a moment. Again, Game 1 of CDEC versus IG heading your way shortly. Stick with us.
team ban.
I think we're back, and yes, I'm smooth as silk. And Tralf, you made it in this time too, I hope?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, good. Everyone's actually standing so still, it scared me for a second.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
It's like, I'm like, all right, I'm smooth as silk, then everyone stopped. Yeah. Everyone hit the H key at the same time, screwing with me. But yeah, actually, hang on. We're actually going to have a static link onto one that's going to be a clap. This could be troublesome. They're going to be able to track down the Brew. He's down to just a little bit of health. Down to, yes, first blood. Drawn by our Skywrath Mage. Next, they're going on to Garter, and they're going to have a chance to catch him. Not enough mana for another Leech Seed. I don't know that they're going to need it. One big punch, not enough. So the little bit of auto attack, still not enough to bring him down. June going to pursue out Q now, as he's going to try to make his way up to the high ground and find his safety back in mid. There's going to be a concussive shot. And Q ends up making it 2 in a row for IG. That's a hell of a way to start a match, ain't it?
Sure is. I think June will be just fine with it, actually. Arrived to the lane a little bit late, but who gives? Got 2 nice kills under their belt. So, also, is this actually a stand-in, or is this just Chuan on a different name? Do you know? I believe it's a stand-in.
I honestly, I don't think that's Chuan. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know. I don't think so. It should be properly marked. This is Chizbug. I'm almost positive on CH. So, but anyway, maybe his name didn't register right. We have been having some problems with the server here tonight. And speaking of, I actually had a Dota crash just as the draft finished. So
I did too, actually. I had a second one.
Oh, yeah, it actually crashed you too?
Yeah, I crashed before the game started, the first one, and then I crashed as we were jumping into the game. This game as well, right before the draft. So crashes galore.
Yeah, it looks like we're back in and we're in good shape. So how about we recap the lanes a little bit? It's going to be Ferrari on this Invoker and mid. He is going Exort build as his second point into Exort. Maybe he's going to be on the Naga Siren, so a mid Naga, perhaps a long game. It's going to be She playing on the Faceless Void in bottom, going one-on-one with the Bad. Does not seem like a matchup he's going to enjoy all that much, although right now holding his own more than acceptably. But this aggressive tri lane, how do you feel about it? I mean, with the Razor at the front, a Skywrath there to spam, and of course a Tree to play so aggressive. Tree did not go boots first, but still can play very aggressive. Is the Silencer here with that spam, that awful Curse of the Silent, going to be enough?
Well, I would say normally yes, but because of the horrible exchange he just had, it changes the dynamic of the lane. Any single time you have a first blood like that, it really just changes how the lane should have been played. It's like trying to go into a laning phase when the other team did a Roshan. Like, they can have the 3 worst heroes in the lane, but it totally changes it once you get that surge of golden experience. So it definitely is going to be a lot harder. I still think if they can stabilize and not not feed too much, maybe get some pulls if they have pulls to work with, which doesn't actually looks like they don't, and they don't have sentry, so that's really bad for them. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably IG's lane.
There's going to be an engagement. We're going to have the damage latched onto the Brewmaster. Behind that, they're going to change targets. He got a bit out of it. Now the concussive shock connects on Garter. Chizbug led with that leech seed. My goodness, couldn't even get it out. Been awake too many hours here today. Led with the leech seed, but it seemed like there's a little bit of miscommunication in that fight. They didn't all prioritize the same target.
Yeah, maybe there was just like, you know, they wanted to quickly just cast a spell because the Curse of the Silent was on them, so maybe they were just frantic about that. But yeah, nonetheless, kind of interesting exchanges there. Bottom lane, I've seen Luo get a little aggressive on this bat, and actually 333 is going to have to go all the way back to base. So despite this being a bat versus a melee lane, I saw him at the beginning. He got a couple of pretty fortuitous bashes, and he actually dove him very, very early on, sub 1 minute. Tried to get a kill at the tower, couldn't get another bash, but nonetheless creating lots of pressure onto him, and now he's free farming.
Yeah, that's kind of the surprise thing. Like you said, Luo running him out of lane entirely, damn near killed him, and now we're going to have another static link onto the Brew, but no follow-up this time. I think CDEC is managing this fairly well, all things considered. I mean, obviously 6 CS on your farming Brewmaster, not what you want, especially when you're being doubled up +1 by the Razor. Nonetheless, they're not dying. They haven't given up anything more, and that has to be considered a minor win, at least until they get something like this. Perhaps a haste will allow them to come back up. He's actually going to spot Ferrari, but just going to go ahead and bail out down at bottom, maybe happy to take the bounty rune. So 4 minutes in, it's Invoker and Naga, as one would expect, on top of the CS. 22 apiece in mid, slightly more denies for the Invoker, but like we've talked about, this off lane not going as well for CDEC as they would like, but it's really the standout play from Luo, just flat out beating up on this Bad Rider.
Yeah, and I think that's the key in lanes like this. I think it's easy to think mentally, oh, I see action, possibly brewing up top. Speaking of
there's going to be a Fire Blast and a clap to follow. He's going to try to use his own living armor, but he drops for free. Now, June might have a chance to turn it around on the Brew. This will be a worthwhile trade if they can get a good attempts to body block by Garter, and he does manage to save him. Not just save him, saves himself. And this is one of the troublesome bits of trying to go aggressive against the tri-lane like this. Yes, the silencer is squishy, but he's staying back sufficiently enough. You're not going to have enough mana because of the spam from the silencer, but the 2 targets that you're likely to engage are very tanky, so it takes a lot to bring them down. Instead, CDEC just gets on the board with a free one. 1-2-2.
Yeah, still pretty big problem that this Void is doing so well in this lane. Hopefully, he's actually trying to be aggressive here. He's got 3 stacks of sticky napalm onto him. Luo, he's just going to go straight man mode here.
Yep, he's going to get him as well. Drop the chrono. Oh, one more would have done it. Sunstrike? No. They're going to turn this around. That's a nice effort. He will time walk, one would hope, to safety. So a good attempt from Ferrari to follow it up. Instead, 333 wanted to try to pressure him a little bit more. He's actually coming back in the lane very aggressively. Doesn't have any regen left, just the 1 tango he just consumed. So a lot of fighting happening all across the map. This bodes well. This should be a fun game given the compositions we see on both sides.
I don't think Ferrari was ready for the setup. Had he just Sunstruck, like in the chrono, it was a guaranteed kill. But
yeah,
maybe the communication was there. I don't think Luo thought about it, made the conscious decision beforehand that he was going to chrono him. He just did it impulsively, and as a result, he probably didn't tell Ferrari quick enough to look bottom. As an Invoker player playing Exort, you don't have the time constantly to look at all 3 lanes and CS properly and harass and buy your items, check runes. There's a lot of stuff for you to do. So when you have opportunities like that, you can't expect your Invoker to look for that. You have to give him a heads up, and he probably just told him a little bit too late.
Yep. CDEC still defending up here. They did get a little bit back with that last kill. Brew still languishing near the bottom of the CS. They're going to go right on June, or at least they thought about it. And this Brew took the bait. That's a long static link. He sucked 84 damage as of right now. They got to try to turn it around. He has so much right-click, though. Sunstrike on the mark that time. Ferrari secures the kill. They're going to lose June behind it, but can they get Garter? Not a lot of mana on Chizbug or on their Skywrath, and yeah, they just got to bail. And honestly, given how underfarmed the Brew was, I think they're going to be relatively okay with that. At least they got a return kill on the Razor, and their supports get some much-needed levels. And Q is actually getting very close to level 5 now, and he's right there with the Brewmaster.
Yeah, really nice Sunstrike there from Ferrari. That secures his Midas now in a very timely 7.5 minutes. Actually, way before that, because now he's got 800 gold. This is fantastic farm for Ferrari, and Sunstrike kills are massive, because not only do you help get the kill, but you're getting experience and the surge of gold not even being there. And you can get it all the time. It's not like a Zeus ult where you have to wait for a 90-second cooldown, or any other kind of global ulti where you're getting experience that way. This is, what's the cooldown in Sunstrike? It's 30 seconds. So it's really big when Invoker gets, it's much better that the Invoker gets the kill for it, or credit for the kill, than just simply assisting with it.
Regen bottled up by Maybe. Down and bottom, there's a bounty. Oh, wow, he actually got the bat with the help of Ferrari again. I thought they were just tussling down there waiting on the rune. Instead, there's another Sunstrike kill, and Ferrari makes himself 2-0 without ever leaving mid lane or killing the mid.
Yep, and just talking about it, it's massive, man. I mean, Midas, and now 1,300 gold. He's going to have book 3. If he continues at this rate, he's going to have Midas book 3 at like, what, 14, 15 minutes? It's going to be insane. One of the fastest ones.
He is ridiculously farmed. The Naga, unfortunately, though, is not that far behind him. At 45 CS to 55, given it is a pure Exor build Invoker against a melee hero that has to rely on Bottle Crowing and Riptide so much to CS reliably and so on, I think this is actually a pretty solid performance out of the Naga. And I want to see what her build's going to be. If we're going to see that hybrid drums build, I don't think that's necessary. I think she'd be much better off flat rushing a Radiance. We are going to see 333 get active now. He is level 7 and is now making his way through mid. Don't know if he's going into the jungle or if he's actually going to try to go for a gank here.
Yep, and he's actually chosen to max Riptide. This is something Arteezy just never does anymore. He doesn't like the extra mana cost of it, and he just thinks that you don't really need it max to get the full potential of damage out. But yeah, there was a smoke, and here we go.
Fire Blast leads it off. They're going to try to grab the tree. Still has Lasso. Has not used it yet, though. They're going to get a free one here. He may decide to turn around on the Razor. However, Chisbug's still alive. Should have taken it. We could get it. In the meantime, the Brew ends up dropping. June's still up. Eats a Fire Blast behind that. Ferrari has made his way up now and just pecking away at Garter. Has to use his Magic Stick. There's a Leech Seed and one last auto attack. Takes Ferrari to 4-0. As the dust settles, that's a double kill for him. This is not the player you want having this kind of a start.
Absolutely not. That, by the way, that last Leech Seed was like 700 range Leech Seed.
Oh, I know.
Did you see that? That was ridiculous.
Yes. It's the same thing as like Bane's Fiend's Grip. It's got like kind of a long animation to it. So if you have someone who's hustling away, it looks like it comes from the freaking shoelaces.
That's the funny thing to me, is it looked like he started the casting at that range. It was, I don't know, it was really weird. But yep, that was definite greed right there. Probably should have just pulled the trigger on the Batrider Lasso right away, and got a little bit greedy. And unfortunately, it did not pay off for CDEC. And look at Invoker's farm. He actually finishes the Treads action in mid as Maybe gets taken down very easily, starting things off with the Chronosphere from Luo.
I don't even think it was needed. And I mean, what do you say? Like, this is already up to 3,000 gold lead, 7-2. The levels, I bet, are pretty bad. Yeah, the Invoker and the Void. Void against the Bad is the second highest level on the map. Like, he's a full level ahead of the Bad Rider. That's kind of absurd.
Yeah, he played very well in that lane, and I was going to say that sometimes in these lanes where you think you have a huge disadvantage, heroes like Void, as long as you play ultra aggressive and right it in their face, it actually puts you in a much more defensive position, because then they can't really go onto you. They're at a half HP. They think, oh god, if I get bashed one more time, he could actually kill me. And how embarrassing would that be if I died to a Void? You know, it's all mental too.
Oh yeah,
and he played it very nicely. Of course, he did have some nice bashes too, but yeah.
Oh yeah, little RNG helps. But that's something we talked about, just like how much confidence. We were talking about that in the EGC9 series. How much confidence plays into, you know, how well you play. I mean, yes, obviously a confident player is going to be more comfortable, but I think it's worth mentioning, like you said, if you've got the confidence to say, oh, no, I'm going to beat you. I don't care if you're ranged. I don't care what sticky napalm. Screw that. Stupid ability. It's fine. Buy a magic stick. You know, that kind of a thing. Down at bottom, we're going to have another engagement. That's a lasso, but it turns around as he happens to have the static link on as well. His right click is going to be tremendous. There's going to be a Sunstrike, but it's not even needed, as they end up losing their bat, and no one drops on the side of IG. And the rich get richer, and CDEC is just hemorrhaging at this point. Naga Siren is basically their only hope.
Well, if we did learn something from today, if you watch C9 versus EG, that no matter how bad things are looking, you can always still win with the Naga Siren, literally 1v5ing.
Yep.
So if you have the competent player and you have the right circumstances, you're never out of it just yet, although it's probably looking pretty bad. let's see here, about over 5K net worth at just 12 minutes, and close to the same in experience, about 4K. So yeah, I am interested to see if Ferrari does go for the book build. He does have a Staff of Wizardry. I'm hearing a Sunstrike somewhere, and oh, it got split with the creeps right there. Could have maybe taken out maybe.
I didn't even hear it. Where was it?
It was right in mid.
Right in mid.
Yeah, and maybe he's actually backing up to some stacks right here.
Well, Ferrari is large and in charge, and he's got his Null Talisman and his Staff of Wizardry, like you said. Could go book, could go Force Staff, could go Dagon. Nah, it's going to be a book as he picks up his Belt of Strength. And even Luo has his Mask of Madness done now. Like you said, he's going to be able to solo so many of these heroes, tanky as they are. And poor Brew is just level 7, is getting closer to a Blink Dagger. I actually thought he would be much further away than that. He's about 500 gold away right now. And looks like IG not about to give him time to farm it comfortably. They're going to go ahead and smoke up too and head out towards mid.
Yep, this is the duo combo. This is the first 2 picks for them. And they can pretty much kill... Yeah, no, I'm sure they can kill anyone they want to, as long as they catch him in isolation. They're coming around here, looking for somebody. Still smoked up. This will pop in a second, so they know at least someone's sitting there. Yes, as they actually both ping each other out. As soon as the smoke was revealed, they were revealed actually by this ward. And they know it.
So missed opportunity there. The Brew's got to be careful. Luo could just flat go in here. And he's playing. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there's going to be the Mystic Flare as well. Will he get his ulti off? Yes, he will. Now they're going to try to turn it around. Here we go. There's a Fire Blast catching the Skywrath Mage. Panda's chasing him down. In the meantime, Luo's going to go ahead and time walk to safety. Good global silence usage by Q to allow him to turn this around. It is taking them an awful long time just to kill a lonely Skywrath, though. And, you know, that's 2 big ultimates that are now on cooldown. All things considered, losing the Skywrath I don't think is that big of a deal if they decide to turn it around and go ahead and fight off of that now. Especially with the mech now done on June. He's going to go ahead and static link 333. Chizbug is going to be right there with him. And going to keep vision. Oh, actually used the overgrowth. I have a feeling that Sunstrike would have hit if he hadn't, but irrelevant as they get the kill anyway.
Yep, so yeah, it probably would have, but unfortunate right there. In the meantime, Ferrari, though, is putting lots of damage in the mid tower, and with his treads, which is not something you typically see, couldn't get the deny for maybe, so extra gold coming the way of Ferrari. That's going to be book 2 security. He's putting some cold snap damage onto maybe. Maybe he's thinking about... He does sleep, and he runs forward.
He's got a team coming from behind.
Yep, he does.
If they can get a kill on Ferrari, it'll be huge, and yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of... Oh no, look at that strength! And now the Mystic Flare helping them do a lot of damage behind it, but the strength of living armor almost kept Ferrari alive. However, that's well worth a song. All of their big ultimates are now on cooldown, though. And CDEC is fighting back as best they can, but I think if IG plays this right, they can actually end up coming out ahead in terms of like the whole 5-minute sequence. But they need to press themselves a little bit. It was a big deal last time, by the way, that we didn't see the Mask of Madness used by Luo. Did not use it inside of the Chronosphere.
Really?
Nope.
Huh, I was wondering why he wasn't taking more damage. I was like, okay, global silence happened, who cares? Like, the spells were already used.
Yep.
Yeah, so, interesting. Is that something Twitch chat just said?
I don't know if he thought he didn't need it or what, but I was hoping you had a reason for it. I bring it up now just to satisfy my own curiosity, because he definitely didn't use it.
Maybe he had already... I don't know. If it was off cooldown, there's no reason for him to not use it. But anyway, shit happens. And Batrider, he's close to his blink. Oh, I was going to say, right before Ferrari died, he did buy his book too there. So he actually lost 0 gold in that gank. So while it was nice to get the gold for them and end his streak, I don't think he's too sad and upset about that. He's going to have book 3 here relatively soon.
Chizbug going to run right into this Batrider. And he's got help to the south. This could be tricky. Firefly's going to expire in just a few seconds, and Chizbug knows it. I think he's going to wait it out before he tries to engage. Here comes Garter around to try to help out, and they are all beginning to converge. Could be a big fight here. Global Silence is back up, as is the Panda split. And this is really where CDEC has to feel strong. Like, if they pull back here and smoked and then ran back down lane, it wouldn't surprise me. Because they have to be chomping at the bit to get some big fights. And the Naga Siren, in the meantime, maybe, has plenty of room. He has plenty enough gold now for his Relic. So the Radiance, well on its way. Blink Dagger now done for the bad as well. And let's see how they want to fight this out. I have no doubt they're going to want a big fight here at this Tier 1.
Yep, sitting behind Necro 2 is kind of tricky and awkward going into. Of course, the Forward Spirit's in the front as well. Overgrowth, quick can really stop their plans. But again, this Silence plus Batrider combo, we'll see.
There's the lasso. And very well-placed sentry. There's going to be the Brewmaster Silence as well. They get off the Global Silence, or the Brewmaster Split, rather, not Silence. And it's currently a 1-0. There's going to be Chizbug tossing in the air. It's all kind of clustered around these trees. Everyone trying to sort out where they want to go. Ferrari and June both pulled back. Now they might want to re-engage. They're going to drop the rock right on Garter. He's going to end up down, and Q has to back off as well. So they end up going 1-for-1, but they get the tower. Now here's the problem. With those big ultimates now on cooldown, they can probably push through if they so choose. And that seems to be the plan. And that really, that was such a good initiation, but the follow-up was just not there. And this sentry is what made the difference. The sentry was dropped preemptively, and they spotted Void, who had been covered by Nature's guys. But the follow-up, just not enough damage.
Yeah, it's also much harder to actually really take a fortuitous fight like that with Bat before he has Force Staff. Like, getting them back into your team quick enough at that rate with the Force Staff is much, much better. So I imagine once Batrider gets a Force Staff, it'll be a little bit easier. But they are very ultimate reliant. That is a little bit scary here for CDEC. And yep, there's a tier 2 tower. And they're actually going to catch this. Yep, there's a dead Naga Siren. My God.
It's just such good movement, man. Because they knew with these two back, even if they're not spotted, more than likely they're not going to contest the tier 2. They just can't afford to with Chronosphere up. And because Luo died in that fight, they knew it was going to be up. So they take that for free. They teleported to this tier 1 very early on. And I do mean very early compared to when that tower dropped. And they just knew Naga would feel confident pushing out as far as she did. And they caught her. Just really well played. Nice rotations from IG. And they're looking great.
Yep, they certainly are. Ferrari is by far the top farmed in the game. 3,000 ahead of anybody. Naga does have completed Radiance, though. And she did. Oh, God.
I didn't even see where that happened. I'm going to guess it must have been back here. Anyway, there's going to be perhaps another fight here. Brewmaster doesn't have split for 20 seconds. Here comes 333, gets the lasso on the Ferrari. There's going to be an overgrowth to hold everybody steady, though. Will they be able to bring the Brew down? They do, and Ferrari's still up and standing. Garter trying to make a run for the tier 2. Don't think he's going to make it far. June got himself 105 damage, stolen 333. Unable to do anything with that lasso, now just laying down fire. He's going to end up dead as well. June just tore through this team. And understandably wanting to take a fight when they thought they had the odds. But they have officially run out of time. They cannot have another misstep again, and hell, it might even be too late. That's going to take the lead of IG to 5 digits, 10,000 gold, coming up on 7,000 experience. And another tier 2 drops. And Naga Siren, as good as she is with an early Radiance, she has run out of real estate.
I mean, that was still off Ferrari 430. Like, if you saw there, June ran in, and that was a full HP bat, and Ferrari 430 just threw his Necro 3 minion underneath the Firefly, and then the bat just got evaporated by it. And then June was like, oh, yeah, I'll just Plasma Field and kill you. And there's a very easy double kill as a result, so Ferrari 430, man. This extra amount of farm that he really shouldn't have had is really coming into play. He got another 2,100 gold on top of that. He can get a Hex on, or he can be on his way to a Hex if he wants to. And Luo has a Chronosphere. Oh, and also the start of that fight, the Necro 3 mana burned the Panda from full to nothing, as far as his mana was concerned. So he couldn't do anything. He didn't have the ultimate up ready to go anyway, but even if he did, that's a massive problem. So he picks up a point booster now.
IG hanging as a foursome with Ferrari in mid, and it looks like, yeah, CDEC has no interest. They could take this tower for free if they want to, as I don't think CDEC would TP in to protect it at this point. And June is about to find that out. They're going to flash back towards mid, and maybe he's going to be spotted. This could be a chrono. It will be. There's the Mystic Flare, the Global Silence wasted, as they're going to get maybe regardless, and there's zero follow. That's the kind of mistake you can't make whenever you are this ultimate reliant. They just blew their most valuable ultimate, arguably, to do nothing but watch a Naga die anyway. So IG, good movement, good patience, finds their kill, and they might even start thinking tier 3 soon.
This is why I thought the Silencer is kind of awkward against a Void Skywrath. Well, specifically just Void in general, but that was a really nice Skywrath ulti, actually. Like, he cast it before the Chrono came out, because he knew of the problems that would arise if he waited too long. Yeah. And he just had good trust and faith in his teammate. He knew where the position of the hero was going to be, despite the Chrono not actually coming down yet. So nicely played by the stand-in here. Yeah, I don't think that's Chuan, by the way.
IG rattling their saber at the top tier 3. Knowing the Global Silence is down, why the hell not? Naga does have level 2 Song,
Tower is under attack.
and they're just going to siege it with creeps. In the meantime, BKB is complete on Luo. They're going to try to burn him down with Naga illusions, and we'll see how patient IG is going to remain with this. Brew does have his ulti available if and when. And looks like they may just go ahead and back. Yeah, they're just trying to kill the Naga illusion as it successfully grabs these creeps. And that's so obnoxious. One of the worst parts of dealing with a Naga Siren.
Yep, and in this game, the difference that we saw earlier today when Cloud9 was playing up against Naga is IG's being a lot better about actually pressuring the base and pressuring all lanes. Like, look at all the outer towers are clearly dead, and not a single tower of their own is dead. They're probably all in good shape, too, because they have a Treant. Yeah, actually, as I look at the bottom one, it's being healed up as we speak. So, fantastically played so far by Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. And it turns out that the tree pick has worked out very well for them.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, there's Firefly, there's tons of damage over time, but they were confident enough in their tree pick. Again, I do have to say, it's always skewed a bit when you have horrible minute 0 engagements where people die a lot.
Well, the big thing, I think, is Chizbug is hanging on to his living armor. He's not using it just in the middle of fights where it's likely to be burned off. He's finding targets that are trying to run away with 10% HP and healing them up. He's using them judiciously on the towers as well. And his overgrowth is actually turning into a big deal. Whenever you talk about the Bad Rider trying to pull a target, if he's in the right place, Bat Rider's going nowhere. Yes, he's got the target lasso, but he's not winning positionally. There's going to be a chrono onto the silencer. And nope, sorry. BKB means Song of the Siren does not matter. They're going to try to chase him back, but they've got to be careful. They're going to end up chasing him into a whole team. And speaking of Chizbug, keeping an eye on the whole team of CDEC as they scurry away. He was under nature's guise, very close by. And I think they're running out of time. Like, the Naga Siren does not have the room she needs to farm the way that a rushed Radiance Naga really should be. And you can see on the net worth, like, she's behind. Hell, her and the Void are basically the same now, and he's been doing nothing but fighting for the last 15 consecutive minutes.
Oh, mid, and look at that mana burn! Panda goes from full to nothing. Here comes Ferrari, though. Multicast plus the Bat Rider Lasso is probably going to get the kill on him. Oh, here comes the mech.
Got him. Nice kill, but again, it cost him their global silence. And it's going to be down for quite a piece. Down for 2 minutes now. And with global silence down, Brewmaster doesn't have mana. They may go Roche. Like, they have a medallion, I think, don't they? Didn't I spot a medallion on somebody?
I thought it did, too. I think it's the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tree. I think they can go Roche right now.
Their Roshing power is okay with Void, but it's like exponentially faster with the Invoker there. So, and he is going to go for Hex, by the way. I love this build. This is just like perfect. This is exactly what I would do.
I completely agree. This is working out unbelievably well, and especially against the Brew, as you said. And hang on, that's a Skywrath Mage hanging out a bit too long. Gets a bit of damage done, but he's going to end up dying. No chrono for 10 seconds for Luo. And looks like he was hoping to bait out 1 or 2, instead baited a whole team, so he's not about to re-engage at the moment. Is still keeping an eye on things. And has to stay out of the fire. The floor is lava.
They're pinging him out. Oh, there they go. Oh,
almost got the courier. And there's going to be a chrono. Sunstrike on the mark this time. Multicast. Still going to try to chase him BKB. They're going to be able to get him for sure. He actually wastes lasso behind that. There is the Brew split. Chizbug likely to end up dead here, if nothing else than to burn damage. And he will be tracked down. Razor comes back to Earth, does not want a piece of it. Instead, it's going to catch a rock right in the back of the noggin. And yeah, now he's going to turn it around, and this is bad news. There's going to be the jump on top, and oh, he got the bash. Dat bash, though. That's a dead Brewmaster because of it. 19-8. Dust settles, and now, perhaps, Roshan.
And a gem was pinged out somewhere. I'm checking inventories to see if someone picked it up. So I can't find anything. Somewhere. The Silencer knew about it. I'm not quite sure. But very least, Naga trying to do her Naga thing. TP's top now and pushed out bottom. Has a Yasha on bot, so could we see another Naga game like we saw earlier today where it looked hopeless for, well, in that case it was EG, and the Naga just literally 1v5'd their way back into victory. I mean, she's creeping up on net worth.
I think it's tough. They have so many tools to lock her down and keep her steady once they identify which hero she actually is. I think it's going to be tough. Bat's going to go for a steal or for something cute here. Yeah, he just dropped his TP. All right, let's see it, 333. Give me a reason to holler, son. Hanging around, hanging around, hanging around. There's the flame break. They know he's there. And there's going to be a tornado to try to ward him off. Silencer's there. It doesn't matter. About as valiant an effort as you can ask for, having zero vision and no way to reliably scout other than flame break. But that's going to be an Aegis for IG, and they're going to look to go high ground very soon.
I know there's no ancient apparition in the game, but he got cold feet there. That was damn lame.
I love it, dude. I don't know about you. I'm tired. I've been up a long time today, and that kind of humor just feels right.
I got a bottle of cab with me and some nice crackers. I'm good to go, man.
Crackers.
Yeah,
you talking saltines? You talking saltines? Or you got the nice crackers?
No, the nice crackers. Cleanse the palate.
Artisan crackers. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice. You know what? I've got a couple of. I went to Berkeley Bowl not long ago and got some really nice cheese and got some nice crackers at home. Problem is, I'm doing the keto diet thing, so I can only eat the cheese and no crackers. Life's hard.
I need to eat more, man. I'm on that diet. Whatever I can stuff in my mouth is what I eat.
I hate you so much. I can't stand people like, I just eat all day and can't gain enough weight.
I can't, man.
Dude, if it's caster problems, hang on. 333. We'll be able to blink away. And that was...
I was waiting for the chronosphere, literally.
Yeah. Luo, trapped for the moment. He will be able to extricate himself momentarily. They're going to have to execute on this, otherwise Naga can punish them. I mean, this is just what the hero does. Pushing in bottom lane now. And either they send someone home or they just say, to hell with it, let's go Rax. And looks like it's going to say, let's go Rax. I don't blame them. Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're at tier 3 and a half alive tower, and Naga's just at your tier 2. There's going to be Glyph. Naga has returned. And let's see how they want to engage this. Brew, of course, does have Split. Global Silence is available as well. And the Bat has Lasso. If you're CDEC, what's the optimum here? How do you want to fight?
It's as slowly as possible. They have all their spells. They could get a pick on... They don't want to go on Ferrari, like June. If they can blow up June right now, just go with the Bat Lasso and Silence. It'd be a fantastic way to start the fight, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, they even smoked. I thought for sure they were
going to go.
Now they're going to grab June. And there's going to be the Global Silence. June's going to be down in a hurry. Let's see if they want to follow up. Ferrari actually ate a lot of damage, lost his Aegis, but two-man Chronosphere. Can they get down Q in time? Yes, now there's going to be a BKB as well. Mystic Flare off the mark. Garter's still alive. It ends up being a 1-for-1 plus an Aegis. Ferrari's going to end up dropping again. He's so low. 250 HP. Comes in. Fire Blast brings him down. And now Chizbug left standing alone. He ends up dropping, and Skywrath will be able to make it away, so it's not a full fight. An impressive one as CDEC holds serve, holds Rax, and is ready to reset this game on the back of Naga Siren.
Oh, Resident Sleeper Naga Siren, man. God damn, this hero. I gotta say, though, what the hell was June doing up there? Like, There was absolutely no reason for him to be standing up there that far with, like, very little to no mana, half health, no Aegis. Like, what did he expect? There's no one that can save him. Like, living armor's not gonna help. That was just terrible placement by June. And as a result, they directly lost that fight, I think, because of that. I mean, I'm sorry to be so harsh on it, but there was no reason to be standing up that far.
I agree. Like, with him being up there, I thought for sure, like, I had to double check and make sure that Invoker, that Ferrari did have the Aegis. Like, that's what you see whenever you have a Razor with an Aegis.
Exactly.
Just stand in front, stand in front, bait out some spell, be the one target, the only target they can engage. And that's just not what happened. And then Ferrari, I didn't even see what blew Ferrari up behind the fight.
I didn't see the initial one, to be honest with you. Maybe a multicast or something? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Had to have been something, because by the time I got my eyes trained on him, he was down to like 250 HP, lost his Aegis, came back up and melted just about as quickly again.
I mean, he's not the tankiest hero in the world. No. And he's actually trying to build a BKB right now, which is probably the correct decision. But that's really scary, and that's what I'm talking about, man. Like the Silence plus the Bat Lasso. If you're quick enough with the Bat Lasso plus Force Staff, you can't respond quick enough with the Chronosphere.
Oh, Courier in the mix. Ferrari in the meantime being ganked by a whole team. Those Forge Spirits doing work. And he's going to be ensnared and brought down. The bat actually ended up dying amidst all of that as well. And now they're going to be able to track down Chizbug. He's going to end up dead to Curse of the Silent at the very least. 2-for-1 exchange and another tower. Hang on. Can you say two-man chrono? But tossed it in the air. Void going to come back down into an unpleasant situation. CDEC looks like they want to run as June has used his BKB and is now chasing down Maybe, but caught from behind. He's stolen us so much damage, though. They're at least going to get Gardner. Another poorly placed Mystic Flare. No, that Gardner's still standing for the moment. And finally, gets right-click down. Bit of a bizarre engagement back and forth. The Tier 1 still standing with 7 HP, by the way. All right, June. Deny the tower. Gonna deny the tower. All right. So somebody will do it later, I guess.
Ags here completed for June, speaking of. As I believe this was, yep, there's illusions on the Panda and illusions on the Naga, pressuring this mid. And again, it's more of the same with Naga. She's on top and will just get so much more farm than anyone else just because of the nature of the hero. No one else in the team is going to come close to her. But it doesn't matter because this hero is stupid.
I'm inclined to agree. This is just one of those times where it seemed unfathomable. You were talking a 14,000 gold lead, now cut down to 6 in terms of overall net worth, and the experience is basically negligible. Talking 1,000 in favor of IG. If you're IG, obviously, I don't want to say you're hitting the panic button, but you're certainly concerned. What? Oh God, there's a diffusal too. So her damage output just went up a ton with those illusions. So if you're IG, what's the plan? Do you just run at the racks and hope for the best, or do you switch something up or wait on a big item?
Well, if you're gonna just push like this, you need to be the ones on the aggression, like be the aggressors. Specifically, Void has to just go in and find 2 BKB and just not give 2 craps about anything. But I really feel like they should just wait and do the next Aegis. Or do the next Roshan. June is going to die again. Like,
big multicast, and June gets lassoed as well. There's going to be the Chrono. God may be with it. There's also going to be the Mystic Flare and the Rock, so he's going to be down for sure. And now Luo going to town on Garter. Got a couple of bashes. There's going to be a deafening blast. Garter's going to end up dead, and Q has to run away. Behind that, though, the Panda split did go off. We see the Silencer tossed in. Oh, there he is. Not the Silence. Yeah, it was Ferrari, actually. Tossed into the air. The Global Silence goes off, and Luo has to try to run. In the meantime, Brew up and running and pecking away at Ferrari. They go ahead and dust him. Luo leaves him behind. There's a Tornado to try and buy him some time, and also a Silence as well as a Concussive Shot or an Arcane Bolt from the Skywrath Mage. So a bit of a nutty fight. Naga Siren did end up dropping, but guess what didn't? These 2 racks.
I'm wondering if Naga should have actually used her buyback there. I bet if she bought back, they actually just kill everybody. I think it was still the right decision not to, because saving if she buys back and then dies again in the next fight that IG pushes, I think they just win. Or not win, but at least easily secure the racks. This is a much more safe decision, although buying back could have net her a lot more kills, so it was a hard decision to make. But at this rate, no, she'll have buyback for the next fight, and the next fight possibly will be around Roshan, and that's going to be huge. Yep. I think it's still the second Roshan, if I'm not mistaken, so it's not cheese, but I think Roshan's really important for IG because I actually don't think that they can push racks without it. And they need to put it on the Razor if he's going to be standing up as far as he is every single time.
Luo. Good pick, good find. Can they kill him? He's got Chrono. And he BKBs. Is going to Chrono. Is he going to fight? Yeah, there's a Sunstrike that it splits its damage, and now he's going to leave. So hung around and was hoping maybe somebody would get there. But to build on your point, I think you're 100% correct, my friend. Because if they have at least that Aegis on June, let him use his ulti, let him get on top of the rack, stand out front, be the big, well, word I don't want to say because we keep the stream PG-13, the big target that they want to engage on and want to force their ultimates on, and then reset after he's dropped down. But, you know, back to that fight, I think that's 100% acceptable with CDEC. I brought up the team fight graph afterwards, you know, the team fight recap. They only came out a few hundred experience and a few hundred gold behind IG in the grand scheme of things, but they kept their racks up. And given it's a waiting game with the Naga Siren, I think they're quite happy with it. Now, Roshan, a different situation, though. They're going to try to do something. Razor got it this time. Oh, they're going to end up losing their Skywrath for sure. There's going to be the Bad Rider coming in. Global Silence goes off. Ferrari BKBs. June's still up and running. Still on that Aegis. And wow, he lassos, but he dies as soon as he latches on. And now Razor right on top of everyone, crushing them down. Brewmaster can't split. He has no mana. And there's going to be the Song of the Siren. He can blink in 3 seconds. He's being pecked away at by the Ancient Creeps, and he will be able to blink out wide. They're probably going to follow this up. They're going to find Garter. Can they get the bash? Don't need it. Got a Tornado instead. Garter tosses out another Fire Blast. Doesn't matter. They're going to be able to clean him up with ease and simplicity. And now they're ready to push in. Not top, but bottom. 3 are down. Who's got buyback? Skywrath, or excuse me, the Ogre, 4 minutes out. Certainly doesn't have it. The Bad Rider does not either. And Silencer does, but what's he going to contribute?
Well, I believe the Naga will have it. They need Panda to just go in balls to the wall right here. June is lacking some mana, so at least that's good for them, but they need to do something here. I think they can still fight.
Oop, got maybe. Chrono is up. June's going to try to follow it up. Here comes Q back out. Rock's coming down, and maybe it's going to end up dropping. June's going to end up feeding the Aegis, but that was the plan all along. Brewmaster split, used, and down comes the Void. He's going to come down into a world of hurt. So 2 are down. Bat tossed up, and now we've got Skywrath trying to escape using that Yules. He was actually tossed up by the Brewmaster ulti that time. Chizbug's right next to him. Has an overgrowth, and we'll make him invisible, and look at the damage coming out from that Mystic Flare. Now we've got June right back up and ready to roll. Hooking on, and he's lasso, but that's not solving the problem. 333. A lot of damage stolen, nearly 200. He's going to be able to right-click him down very quickly if they can catch him. Chizbug has a Leech Seed if they can get eyes on him. Blink, though, comes off cooldown in the meantime. Behind that, once again, though, this fight, I don't think there's any arguing, at least in the early parts, certainly did go the way of CDEC. But unless they get this bat, I mean, the racks are still standing, and Naga's had even more time. She didn't have to buy back again.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. She's saving her buyback for when she actually feels the racks will be pressured. Her team is doing a good job about still fighting without her. Like, this is the cool thing about Silencer. Despite it being a 4/5 position Silencer, he packs a punch, man. Like, this hero does a lot of damage. It starts to mana burn them as well, and now he has an Ags. So now he's actually going to be a lot more effective with an extra duration, or an extra second onto his silence. Some damage to cancel potential. Do they even have any blinks? So maybe I'm just, no, they don't have blinks, so forget that point. But yeah, it's just going to do a little bit more damage. So, and then Naga will be well on her way to her heart. She actually has enough for it in just a second if she wants it, but obviously wants to save the buyback. So, yeah, and I think a point still stands that IG, they feel okay comfortably fighting with the Aegis, but without it, it's a whole different ball game, and they have to approach the fights a little bit differently.
Completely agree with you, and it's a miracle that CDEC is even as good in as good a situation as they are right now. IG has Razor and Ferrari both with 10 kills and less than 5 deaths, or 5 deaths or less on the both of them. Collectively, they're 20 and 8. So it has been a great game for them. Behind that, the Void 4 and 3. Not what you would want, but without a doubt, Luo won the laning phase.
Oh no, the Courier. Okay, the Courier has a heart on it, so they got to be very careful.
Oh wow. And is it going to be spotted? They were pinging in that direction. They're just going to go straight on the racks. Watch this. Nope, they're going to go ahead and hex out Garter. There's going to be a Chrono. Only got 1, though. They're going to be able to drop him with right clicks. But now the Brewmaster split is on. BKBs are up all across. Now there's an overgrowth that catches most of them. Ferrari teeing off on Q, forcing him back out of the fight. But in the meantime, Luo caught with the lasso and brought down. Now Ferrari, Chizbug, and their Skywrath have to try to extricate themselves. June, without an Aegis, not nearly as scary, being chased and will end up dying. I'm curious why they smoked straight up to the racks, and I didn't see where the creep wave was. I guess it must have been really, really far away. Oh, they're gonna get Chizbug too. Who's got a gem? That's the bat. So they end up giving up 3. And again, this is just a testament to the power of the Naga Siren, how well they're doing, and the fact they have not lost one single set of racks despite how out of hand this game was.
Yeah, I think regardless, the Naga is getting banned out. I really do. Like, this hero is just so strong, and she's definitely getting much more contributions this game than the one we saw previous from her allies. Like all the spells just synergize so well. That's what I said when I couldn't really see the lineup, but I heard the heroes that you were telling me. I'm like, this sounds really good. Like, the ults work very nicely together. The Bat Lasso, the Silence. Also, I do have to say that Luo's Chronosphere was pretty bad. Like, that was,
yeah.
They expended a very aggressive smoke going into the base, trying to get really cheeky, and he used it on a solo Ogre. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. At this point, who would be the #1 target, you think?
Well, Like, Naga's probably going to have buyback just because she makes so much gold. Probably,
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Probably either Bat or Silent. Like, I don't know. That's the beauty of their lineup. I guess the Panda is like his ultimate's the most scary at this point. But
Yep.
like you kill him, you have to worry about global. If you kill the Silencer, you still have to worry about Bat. I guess Silencer's pretty important because he's still really squishy, but has such a devastating ultimate.
Yep.
It's hard though, man. It's really hard.
I think optimally you would aim to get the Silencer in the brew. So I think you could, if you have, I don't know, that's just pointless theory crafting really, because why don't you just get a 5-man and kill them all?
Yeah, idiot. Come on, Luo.
Yeah. You get good at the game, dude. Seriously, what are you even doing?
No, but I guarantee, and I'll say this, by the way, he went for Battle Fury, which is kind of interesting. Normally we always see the Mjolnir, especially up against Nagai, or Naga. I guess it would be Naga, plural.
Nagas is?
Naga. I don't know. Anyway, but I see this all the time when you get into desperate situations and situations where we're theory crafting, and just you and I right here, where we're like, who does he go on? Like, who's the best priority target? And then he's probably thinking the same thing. They're probably thinking about who do we absolutely need to kill. It's very difficult. When you have these kind of situations and thoughts in your head, I guarantee you there will be a whiffed chrono. It happens every single game I see this kind of scenario, because there's so much pressure and there's so much like, who do I go on? I have to get this. I have to get the perfect chrono. And whenever this pressure builds up in you mentally, it really takes a toll on you. So I would not be surprised if we see 1 or 2 whiffed chronos.
Yeah, I would borderline call the one we just saw a whiff chrono.
Close to, yeah. I mean, he actually almost didn't even get that one, like, because Ogre was on the very far edge.
Yep. Like I say, both teams have settled down, and you can just feel, it's palpable how thick the momentum is for CDEC right now. They have just taken the wind completely out of IG's sails, and they are in complete control of this game. Like, you can just feel it, the way they position, the way that IG's now playing compared to how they were playing not long ago. This is just that hero, man. Man, I really do like that set. BT Dubs. Really cool on the set. I have to buy it.
Who's this in?
I don't know, actually. Looks like something Nuxie would have done.
Ice. It's Ice.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Oh, hang on. We're going to have a lasso. That's what I get for looking at sets. We're going to have the Skywrath Mage lasso. There's going to be a chrono that got 3-3-3. Skywrath's still alive. They cut off the Mystic Flare. That's going to be enough to bring down the bat behind that. Ferrari's popped his BKB. Hell, the whole team has. They're trying to re-engage uphill. If they can get June, and they can, he does not feel survivable at all. And Brew manages to split as well. And the route is on. Ferrari caught out, cleaned up. Buyback from the Razor. And he's just going to come in and die back. He gets ensnared. The damage output is nowhere near where it needs to be to deal with this Naga Siren. As maybe tallies a triple kill. And they're going to take a free tier 2. And CDEC with that, I got a feeling it's going to update here in just a second, is going to have taken a gold lead for the first time since before the creep spawned.
Dear Lord, man. And the thing is like, I don't know, when we were watching EG Cloud9 today, I couldn't help but think, man, Naga's a stupid hero. I can't believe this happened. I mean, RTC's played it very well, but this is just what happens with when you have a Naga and very little counters to him. But I can't really feel the same way this game. I think that they played it badly, to be honest. Like, that catch up top on June, when they were pushing with the Aegis on Invoker, totally changed the game. They were completely in the driver's seat. There was no reason they should have lost this, and just that little positioning error made all the difference in the world. And now this is CDEC's game to lose.
Yeah, they take the racks very easily. Roshan is back up. If they want to fall back and do it, I don't even know. Like, right now, unless they just played it, oh, wow. And Naga has a butterfly.
She's 6
How in the hell are they going to kill her now?
Yep, she is 6 slotted, and no more free MKB for you, Void. You're actually going to have to get an MKB to get cut through that evasion through your Chronosphere.
This might be the biggest deficit I've ever seen erased. I know, like, there was, I don't count the time when the new patch came out and shit was cray. Like, I'm not counting that. I'm talking, like, in real Dota, which is, I feel like we're pretty much there now. But, you know, I have to go back to, like, TI2, remembering the Lanham IO tiny game. The last time I saw a graph look like this. Like, literally this sharp and down from about 15,000 gold advantage. And look at this. I mean, you're talking, at this point, it's a 20,000 gold swing and a 20,000 experience swing. And it's going to get worse by the time all's said and done. This Roshan cannot be contested. If things went bad, Naga would just sleep, and that'd be the end of it. And I think they know that. They're not even going to try to come in. They might try to catch them as they leave. Oh, they're just going to rush it. Wow. And there's going to be a lasso. That's a good one on to June. In the meantime, Cheese is on the ground, and the Brewmaster picks up the Aegis. They're going to try to rush in on him now. Luo in there as well. But still, there's two of them still up and standing. Maybe still alive. There's going to be the Song. And they lost two just to get Song. Now there's actually going to be a Hex on the maybe. Now the Chrono. Can they kill him? Needs a bit more damage, and that Butterfly makes it tough. There's going to be a mirror image, and look at him melt. Maybe on a mega kill streak. June's next on the list. That's a full 5-man wipe as CDEC against the greatest of odds. And on the back of this slithering hero, Naga Siren finds themselves just a minute or two away from what one can only imagine will be a very impressive GG.
Yep, and the refresher came out for I-430. Couldn't use it, though, as he was just taking way too much damage. He could have had a double tornado plus the Chaos Meteor with 2 BKBs, with 2 books, 2 scythes, but just couldn't do it, man. Too much damage coming out from CDEC, and yeah, I don't think that there's a way that IG actually comes back from this now. And they're going to go for a GG push before they can even call GG.
And a buck 3 on Naga, cuz why not? Because you have all the gold on the map ever.
She just casually walks over to the shop, pops it, will probably drop it, pick up her... Yep, there you go. Nicely played, and that's game, man.
What a game indeed. Had a couple of snags getting into it here and there.
No GGs were called.
Yeah, I noticed that. That is a salty game. Like that is a like I don't even think that's the kind of thing that IG can argue about themselves. Like I don't feel like anyone played particularly bad. It's just Naga Siren's kind of a dumb hero. Like really.
I mean he is, but like I said, I'm sorry, but June really kind of threw it there. Like the positioning of him, as you mentioned, that was the positioning you would have if you have an Aegis saying like, "Come kill me, I want you to kill me." Like kind of like when a Viper picks up an Aegis, because like you want to take damage on Viper, and you stand really far up on purpose. That was him, except he stood up there without an Aegis, half HP, and no mana. It was just, I was baffled. I could not believe that he was actually standing up that far. And yeah, like I said, totally changed the game. So unfortunate there for IG. I thought Ferrari was playing out of his mind, especially in the beginning. Luo just totally dominated his lane in a lane he shouldn't have. And they won their tri-lane. Everything was going splendid, and just one, like I said, one positional error. And against a team that has the unfortunate, terrible-ass hero in Naga Siren, it will cost you the game.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of Naga today, and that's the second game we've seen snatched from the jaws of victory. A defeat snatched from the jaws of victory by the team on the other side. And yeah, ban the Naga. Back in 2013, I had the ban the tree campaign. I think it might be time for the ban the Naga campaign. Either way, I mean, we make light, but seriously, well played for Maybe. Finishes up 8-15, or 8-5 and 17, rather. And when you look across the rest of the team, it's not like you had anyone who was really carrying the weight. I mean, the Brew has struggled a lot early on, finished up 9-5 and 17, however. Ogre wasn't in the mix quite a bit. Bat Rider really struggled, 3-8 and 17, but in the end, it doesn't matter how much you struggle. It doesn't matter what your fantasy point totals happen to be, although there is quite an impressive number for the Brew and the Naga. All that matters is that you get the W, and now IG finds themselves in a win 2 in a row or go home situation here in this best of 3. I'm your host, Aaron AC Chambers. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast, guys. You're tuned in to the 5th season of the D2L, brought to you by HyperX. And I'm AC, as mentioned, and Trout, of course, is the guy on the other line. You can find us both on Twitter and Twitch and elsewhere. Just look me up at EC, at AYESEE. He's at TralfDota, TRALFDOTA. If you enjoyed this match, and I'm sure you have, make sure you hit follow here on twitch.tv/D2L as well. Certainly don't want you to miss a minute of the action as we really get hot and heavy with our schedule starting out tomorrow. For now, though, Game 2 of IG versus CDEC coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Stick with us.